Hey, what's up, loyal Cubs fans? Reporting how the game went to Monday, Labor Day, September 3rd, 2018. Important division game. Cubs coming in today, 5-game lead over the Brewers, who were second place. And it was kind of a weird game. I liked the first inning, too, where Baez, got on with a bloop single. Rizzo gets a single and Baez scores all the way from first. Kind of a combination of heads up running and the third base coach sent him, and King somewhat bobbled the ball. So when Baez seen that hesitation and he got the green light and he slid in before the tag. So that was a pretty cool way to get that first run. Pretty good, cool videos online seeing that replay. I could watch that several more times. Then things just got kind of quiet, the Cubs bats, and they definitely, on paper, they had the pitching matchup. You had Hamels, who's only gave up 4 runs in his 6 outings for the Cubs, and against Davies, whose ERA was 4.88 coming in. So, on paper, this pitching matchup looked the most favorable. But sometimes, for some reason, I don't know why, our bats get quiet against the pitchers. We had a lot of success against 4 pitchers in the last week, but today things were kind of quiet for the most part. After that first inning, till like a 8th inning 2-run homer by Rizzo that got us a lead. Hamels ended up giving up 2 runs. It kind of went back and forth with the scoring. If it was an error, then they said it was a balk, but things kind of got set up in the 5th inning with or fourth inning, when Cubs are up 1-0. Stolen base attempt to like Hamels threw to first, and they threw to second, and Murphy dropped the ball, but and then they ended up getting a clutch 2-out hits after that. So they can shoot, if they would have just got that base runner, which they should have, they would have been out of the jam. But we found out later they called the balk on Hamels, so I don't know. Is what it is, too. But that's the most runs that he's gave up as a Cub. He ended up pitching 6 innings, so quality start. Got off the hook, not getting a loss, got a no decision. Rizzo looked like, I knew it wasn't over yet because Milwaukee's a pretty resilient team. 6 1-run games now, and they're like 26-18 or something like that, is what I heard on watching the game. But I know, looking from afar, like they seem to scrap out a lot of games at the end. That's what good teams do. Cubs have been a lot better recently, winning 1-run games, and the last couple they did lose. They got to get back to winning these 1-run games. If we can get a healthy Morrow back, that will help. Bullpen was looking good, but not good today. Just a lot of control issues. Edwards, usually he'll walk guys to get in trouble. He did give up a couple hits, and then he walked the next 2 guys, and he couldn't even get out of the 8th inning, and so the game was tied at 3. He just, I don't know, he was pretty angry about a few borderline calls, but looking at him, I mean, they were all balls. He needs to pitch better. And Cisa came in, got that last out in the 8th inning to keep it at least only tied at 3. Could have been worse. And 9th inning, so down the stretch, 9th inning, our bats couldn't get it done. Cisa stayed in the game, and he was having all sorts of control problems, hit a couple batters, bases were loaded, was a tough spot. Made a pitching change to bring in Chavez, which I liked, too, but he ended up getting a ground ball hit to Bryant. He had to, leave his feet, and he tagged third and threw to first, and the runner was too fast to get the double play. There's a lot of second guessing that he should have threw to home. Him leaving the feet, I don't know, might have still been a close play, but it's, I always thought you always have to go home unless you have a fairly easy double play. But So unfortunately, Cubs kind of fall in a heartbreaker at the end to lose 4-3, and they just have to move on. Have Montgomery next, and then Quintana. So Montgomery, he was looking good at the beginning, got kind of shaky his last time out at the end. So we'll see. But, Cubs, the bats need to show up more. There's some hard hit balls like Murphy, but he went 0 for 4. Bias, after his first hit and he scored a run, he struck out the next 3 times. So we need the bats to show up more. See, they got Russell in the lineup today. He's going to be seeing the bench more, but he got a single. It's good to see, but I don't know. I just don't have a whole lot of trust in him getting that clutch RBI hit. We haven't seen the power all year. The plan is to kind of use him as a defensive specialist towards the end of games. He's still pretty good on defense. And so we'll see. We'll probably have a better lineup tomorrow. Hopefully the bats get it going more. I think, though, unfortunately, we play against even tougher pitchers. Have to look at the lineup, but for some reason we do better against the tougher pitchers. We on 3 of the 4 aces we played in the last week. Technically Noah Syndergaard wasn't an ace, but he's a pretty good 2 guy. We did pretty good getting guys out of games, getting quality, avoiding those quality starts. DeGrom, we could only get 1 run against, but we had a lot of success against 3 other great pitchers. But for some reason, against below average ones, we have these days where we only can get 1 run. It's pretty cool to see Rizzo hit a 2-run homer off of Hader, and the crowd went wild. It's supposed to be a road game for us, but of the 44,000 sold out fans in Milwaukee, it looked like there was a lot of Cub fans. Could hear a lot of cheering at that point. It's unfortunate the bullpen couldn't quite finish a job. Hopefully Morrow comes back soon. That can help if he's healthy and effective. They're not going to use him in a closer role, at least right away. He'll have to work his way back into it. But that could help. Edwards overall has been good, but he has games like that. And then I guess C6 he gave up the game-winning home run the game before, and so C6 kind of been on the wrong end the last couple of games, getting losses. But we didn't really use a whole lot of our bullpen. Hamels did go 6, 2, and another 2 1/3 innings. So we still have a lot of guys that we could use tomorrow. Hopefully we could get a lot of runs and won't be so stressful at the end. I think as long as Cubs don't get swept, they're still pretty good position to win the division. They play Brewers 5 more times, but I would like to come back, win these next 2 games, kind of like we did the last series, to win the series, and that can make things pretty difficult for Milwaukee. We'd have a 6-game lead at that point, and we still played 2 less games than Milwaukee too, so we definitely control our own destiny. Well, hopefully a better day tomorrow. The one good thing about today is Cardinals lost. They're up 3-1. I was disappointed because they scored 3 runs off Max, but their bullpen blew it at the end. Bryce Harper hit a 2-run homer in the 9th to tie the game, and then in the 10th inning, Bryce Harper, with bases loaded, hits a sac fly. That was good enough for the go-ahead RBI. They came back and won 4-3. So that was good to see Cardinals lose at the end. Cubs maintain a 5.5 lead over the Cardinals and a 4-game lead over the Brewers. So that was pretty cool. Maybe Cubs should still get Bryce Harper. He's still a pretty damn good player. He comes through in the clutch. Go Cubs, go.